Oh, guys, what's going on? And happy Thursday. We are one day away from a nice weekend on Friday. And one day away from a nice weekend, for sure. My weekend kind of gets started a little bit earlier because I am heading back to Pittsburgh. Red-eye flight tonight. So very excited about that. All right, so we have a new little wrinkle to show you over at Odds Jam. We're going to go through we'll start off with DFS. And we have a Thursday night football game tonight. We're really going to be locked in on looking at some player props for the Cardinals-Seahawks game. Game's actually taking place out here in Arizona, but as you know, I'm not a Cardinals fan, so I'm not going to the game. So first and foremost, I guess we'll start off with the DGFAI slip generator. And we'll look at some prize picks. We'll look at some underdogs, some better, parlay play, a little bit of rebet, a little bit of everything. Hopefully you guys are having an awesome Thursday. I had too much fun celebrating my birthday last night. So that's why the stream is right now. All right, so again, this is a separate tool from OddsJam. So it shows accounts. If you have accounts with Better, Dabble, Fliff, PrizePicks, Rebet, and Underdog, these are all daily fantasy sites. So these are parlay-based sports books. Then you're going to be able to see the top plays. And it's just going to search and scan all the available books, all the books that's out there, and all the lines, and show us plays that have very big discrepancies where the line that we're receiving and the price that we're receiving is just a massive value. So this entire slip together has roughly a 27.5% edge. But again, this is a 6-leg parlay, and we are going to you would take insurance on this. So if you hit 5 of 6 picks on this 6-pick slip, you're going to double your money. If you hit 6 out of 6, then you're making a boatload of cash. I can't remember what the multiplier is for Underdog, but it's very good. But again, this is a 6-leg parlay, so you need a lot of things to happen in order to cash. So as I've kind of grown and evolved a little bit, I'm not going after that many 6-pick slips. 3-pick entry, though, over here on Underdog. I'm more interested in a 3-pick entry. Now, 2 of these plays, Claire and Cobb, are college football plays. In Arizona, I can't bet on collegiate player props. So if you live in a state where you can bet on collegiate props, this would be a 3-pick entry with no insurance. So this is a 6x payout. And I've been having a time and a half over on Underdog the last 48 hours. We've been rolling super hot over there. So it's been a lot of fun. Elwin, Prav, Trent, what's going on, guys? Appreciate the kind words. Appreciate you guys tuning in. So I'll showcase these 6-pick slips on PrizePicks and whatnot. I'm just looking to see if I can find a 3-pick. Here's a 3-pick power. 2% edge, but I'm okay with this. Now, on PrizePicks, I can bet collegiate player props. And the beauty here with DGF's AI Slip Generator, it's a one-click bet feature. The play is automatically going to be loaded up for us right here, and we're good to go. If you have not used your Jalen Hurts free square, feel free then to remove one of these. And I would probably keep the A.J. Brown, but I would remove one of these other college props and just play the free square. Play this as a power slip, guys, so you need all 3 picks to hit. I can only play a maximum of $5 on this account. We also have a Kyler Murray discount right here. I probably maybe should have used that one instead, but that's okay. We'll cook up another one. So again, if you want to use the Kyler Murray discount that they have going on tonight, then remove one of these collegiate player props and add in the Murray play or the Jalen Hurts play. PrizePicks has been doing a really good job this year during football season, giving us a free square every week, which is awesome. What else do we got here? We got some 2-pick entries, which we can share over on Rebet. Various 2-pick slips. We got the Rockies team total over. We have Dwayne Coleman. Again, guys, these are Rebet-specific entries, so you have to have an account with Rebet. So while this is a player prop on Coleman, again, this Rockies play is specific to Rebet. So if we use Props Builder, like on BetOnline or Bovada, you're not going to be able to create this same exact slip because of the Rockies play. So I would advise that you just bet the Coleman play. Now, here, we should be able to bet this on Rebet because it's player props, but maybe not, maybe not. If it says Prop City, like it does for Suarez and Walker Buehler, then this is an opportunity for you that you can bet both, right? We still have a couple days left of baseball of the regular season. After Sunday, it's playoff baseball time. I'm a lot more interested in playoff baseball than some of these games. Like the Rockies, the Marlins, they have nothing to play for, right? The Phillies already clinched the playoff spot, so they're going to play their guys. But I don't like betting the last couple of days. You catch me it depends on the day. Today, I'm not really feeling like betting on MLB player props. But if you want to, you obviously can. And then Buda Baker with PCA, you could do this one as well. Now, let me click refresh, generate once more, see if we have any. Here we go. We got a different 3-pick slip. Again, this is Claire, Chubb, and Cobb, which kind of stinks. I'm going to make a slightly different slip because I can use the Chubb play, but I can't use the collegiate props. So I'm still going to get in on the action. By the way, guys, we talk about this with positive EV betting, which this is what this is. This is positive EV betting, but it's parlay based. You can run really hot or really cold, and we're really hot right now on Underdog. Jackson Dart, don't let me down. I shared this slip with you guys yesterday. We hit our first 2 picks. We just need Jackson Dart. Shared this slip a couple days ago. We just need Kyler Murray. By the way, all the books now have his line at over under 31.5. We just need the over 30.5. So this is looking very promising. And then yesterday, I cashed this 3-pick entry for almost $300, and I cashed this 3-pick entry for almost $300. It was a very good birthday for me yesterday in terms of betting DFS. So I am going to grab this Nick Chubb play, and I'm a little nervous about Chubb because I feel like the young stud, Mac, the young rookie, I feel like he's going to take some of his rushing attempts, but we'll see. We'll see. And then I'm just going to go over here and grab some others. So I'm going to create a slightly different slip for you guys. But again, if you can't play collegiate player props, then I would play that slip first. What do we got here? Okay, we're going to do this. And then I'm going to go with, so this is going to be a Chubb play with some esports baked in. Which is interesting. There we go. All right, and then we're going to take, let's see if I can take a League of Legends play. There's a couple times here with League of Legends, guys, I either can or I can't. Some can, some let me, some don't let me. And we're going to do this one. Okay, so this is going to be my entry here over on this slip. Let me share the link with you guys. Matt, what's going on? Evening to you. Master Cool, appreciate that, man. What's going on, guys? So there's my 3-pick Underdog entry since I can't play collegiate player props. Let's go over to the OddsJam Optimizer. Let's take a look at, we didn't see any better value. Do we have any better value? So let's go 3 minimum data points. I want to see some different points here. Okay, the over 66.5 on Coleman. Again, if you can play collegiate props, let's make this a 3. We can't do 3 picks. Let's do a 5-pick entry with insurance. The Coleman play I really like. Over 66.5. Most of the books have this at 72.5 or 73.5. So I like this Coleman play. Griffin Conine. Again, Major League Baseball. I don't have a ton of confidence. This looks to be a very good play, though, compared to DraftKings, Caesars, and Fliff. That might be enough for me to bet the under on this guy's single, though it looks like the game started, so it is a live play. Caleb Williams on his passing attempts. Again, FanDuel has this at minus 114, so I would rather just bet this over at FanDuel and not at better. So I don't like the Caleb Williams play. So there isn't really enough of picks here, I would say, that get me excited. I don't like the Jackson Dart play based off of FanDuel. Yeah, there's not enough here on better for me to really go after it. Let's take a look at Fliff for any of my Fliff guys. Yeah, Dr. Slips, I'm in Arizona, so Arizona doesn't let me bet on, it lets me bet on collegiate player props for PrizePicks, but Underdog and better, I can't bet collegiate props. As I mentioned, guys, yesterday, be on the lookout for a video that's going to be dropping on the OddsJam channel about a new DFS site that is paying out way more than Underdog and PrizePicks. You guys are going to want to jump on this DFS site, especially since it's new. Typically, when new DFS sites open up, that's your best opportunity to find to make some money. So take a look at that video. It's going to be dropping on the OddsJam channel today or tomorrow. Fliff. Okay, like Rashid Shaheed, over 3.5 catches. Fliff's at plus 125. FanDuel's at minus 102. This is a 27-cent difference between these two books. I trust FanDuel's number more than Fliff. I like this Shaheed play a lot If you can lock this one in, I like this. I like the Caleb Williams play. It's good to FanDuel. It's okay to Pinnacle. It's 13 cents off. So Shaheed and Caleb Williams, I like that a lot. Kyron over 1.5 catches. I like that play. So, yeah, I don't like this Dodger play. Shaheed Williams and Kyron Williams. Those are my top 3 plays for sure. You want to put them in parlays. You're taking on more variance. If you want to play this conservative, bet this as 3 straight individual picks. That's one way to do it. Let's look at DraftKings. Pick 6. Let's see what we got cooking. DraftKings Pick 6, we're starting off with 3-man entries. Again, when you click the drop-down arrow here, guys, you're going to see, depending on what type of slip that you like to make, the odds that you're receiving for each individual play. So if it's minus 122, that means this play, this play, this play, they're all minus 122. If you're playing a 2-man entry, then each play is minus 137 odds. It's all based off the payout that you're receiving from DraftKings. OddsJam already calculated what the odds are, so it did all the work there for you. But if we come over here, again, I like to normally rock either 2 or 3 minimum data points. And we're looking at Michael Penix Jr. over 31.5 passing attempts. MGM Caesars are at 32.5. A lot of the books and the DFS plays are at 32.5. So I like this at over 31.5. The bar is lower for us to hit that over. And 1 passing attempt, guys, is a big deal. If he lands on 32, we're glad we played this on DraftKings. So you'll be surprised how often sometimes on player props the difference is by 1. And having that extra 1, or in this case, 1 less pass attempt, could be the difference between winning and losing. It is that close sometimes. Now for CJ Stroud, it's 8 cents off to FanDuel. So, and then there's like Jalen Hurts under rushing attempts. This is minus 112 on FanDuel, so I don't like this Hurts play. Mr. Rogers, don't like that play. Caleb, don't really like that play. I put a lot of stock and faith into FanDuel's numbers. That's when my evaluation here, guys. I don't care too much about MGM. MGM's kind of a joke when it comes to betting on player props. They're very easy, so I feel like their lines are very soft. I don't believe in MGM. Caesars, I would say I trust more in Caesars than MGM, but I trust in FanDuel the most out of any recreational sports book. So I don't really have a ton of faith in too many of these plays, to be honest with you. I'm just going to probably move on. There's not enough there for me to get into it. Let's take a look at Dabble, and then we can also look at Owner's Box. Dabble, I'd rather play a 3-pick entry at minus 122 than a 5-pick entry at minus 121. So minus 122 doesn't change too much. And Dante Dowdle, over 39.5. FanDuel has this at 45.5. Again, you're going to see a wider distribution when it comes to players receiving and rushing or passing yards. But again, I still like this at over 39.5. Chambliss, 252. I'm okay with that. Devontae Adams, under on receptions. You're getting this at minus 122. FanDuel has this at minus 152. So I like the Devontae play. I like Dowdle. I'm fine with Chambliss. These would be 3 picks that I would go with on Dabble. In terms of Jason Myers, there's no FanDuel, there's no Pinnacle, there's no Bet Online, so I don't really have much faith in this play. What's going on, Irish? So, and then last but not least, Owner's Box. Take a look at Owner's Box. Again, Owner's Box, I'd rather, instead of playing 6-man insured entries at minus 118 odds, I'd rather play 3-man entries with no insurance at minus 122. Mitch Ferris, over 1.5 walks. This seems good to DraftKings and Caesars at ESPN Bet and Fliff. That might be enough to say, okay, I would play this over on Owner's Box. Trey Benson, under 60.5 rushing yards. Yeah, because Pinnacle is at 58.5 at minus 136. So I'm okay with playing Trey Benson. Jameer, because FanDuel's at 13.5 for plus 100 odds. So if they were at 14.5, I'd have to imagine they're probably at the same price. So I don't know how I feel about the Jameer Gibbs play. So Ferris, yes. Benson, yes. Hancock this is okay. It's okay to Pinnacle. Probably Kyler. I'd go with Kyler over 211 passing yards. Kyler, Benson, and Ferris. If you're allowed to combine Benson and Kyler together, that's what I would do. Under on Benson's rushing yards, over on Kyler's passing yards. I don't mind that. I don't mind that combo. Okay. One thing that I want to stop, and before we jump into the arbitrage plays, guys, a new feature that was added to OddsJam that I think is really cool is the deposit optimizer. Dan, what's going on, bro? Yeah, Dan, I had a hell of a day yesterday. I think I made like $700 or $800 yesterday. So it was, especially on my birthday, it was muy bien, muy bien. So the deposit optimizer, this is a new feature that's added to OddsJam. What the deposit optimizer is, well, where should you put your money in the sports books? What's worth it for you? What's worth your time? So as you can see, I live in Arizona, right? So you can, in this spot right here, guys, you can type in your bankroll. And what OddsJam is doing is they looked at historical data, right? Because they've been operating for over 4 years. So they looked at all the bets that are available on various sports books and arbitrage, positive EV. Where should you put your money in your sports books? So in this case, if you have a $5,000 bankroll, then it's going to tell me in Arizona, I should put $1,160 in FanDuel, or 18% of my bankroll here. $960 in DraftKings, Hard Rock, and they kind of power rank all the sports books for me, right? Which is really nice. So depending on your bankroll, this is what the deposit optimizer is set up to do, which is to figure out whatever your bankroll is, whether it's $250, then it's going to tell you put $140 in FanDuel, $110 in DraftKings. If you have $25,000, then it's going to tell you this is where you should put your money in. Okay. Actually, I need to get in the U-Wager. It's one book I'm not in right now. But this is where you should divvy your money up. So this deposit optimizer here, guys, is up here at the very top. I think it's a very awesome tool to help you figure out, depending on where you live, where should you put your money into, right? So again, I understand not everyone maybe has $25,000. If you have $300, it's going to say there, right? Maybe if you get to $500, okay, let's add in Hard Rock, right? But this is going to be a very nice kind of roadmap for you to figure out what you should do. So I'd highly recommend to check out the deposit optimizer. If nothing else, guys, you don't have to take it word for word, but it's just something for you to chew on and think about, right? You don't have to listen to this, right? If you're like, dude, I don't want to put money in Bookmaker, okay, that's fine. But this at least gives you some type of roadmap to figure out what you want to do. So I appreciate that, Dan. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, I did celebrate pretty late. So it was a good time. It's a good time. So just want to definitely highlight this tool. Arbitrage, everyone's favorite. Pre-match arbitrage. As we know, the settings, I'm going after Pinnacle right now. Minimum max odds, I don't care. Minimum sports books, figure out, pick the books that you have accounts with. Remember, guys, down here at the bottom, and I'll make my mouse really big, save filter, okay? So if you're on the arbitrage tool and, maybe, I don't know, maybe you got like a FanDuel and a DraftKings and MGM and a Caesars and ESPN Bet and Hard Rock, and you're like, all right, these are my books. You know what? I'm going to try to stay between a minus 250 to plus 250 because I don't want to appear like a sharp sports bettor to these books. And I only want to go after plays that are worth, 3.5%. Okay. And then you're going to say, yeah, I'm going to go after today. I'm going to go after player props, main markets. Save this filter, right? And then if you want to push to notifications, you can do so. This is now going to be your preset filter. Then now you can click save. And now you come up here to save filters. You can see I have a couple of these. Now you're ready to go. Right? You don't have to go and set this up again. Now you have your filter. Show me the results. No results right now in between 3.5 to 10% ARBs. Okay. So if you're someone that's a very busy schedule, right? You maybe use your mobile phone a lot. Set up filters. It's going to save you time. And then set up the push notifications. And what I'd rather you guys do, if you do turn on notifications, then set it up so that you're going to receive an ARB that's worth your time. Because what I don't want you guys to do is set this up for 1% ARBs. And you might receive like 40 emails in an hour. And you're going to be like, I'm tired of OddsJam. I can't deal with the constant notifications. So set the bar a little bit higher for your notifications. If you're in front of the laptop, different story. But if you're out and about, then set these parameters pretty high. So when you do see your phone blow up for a notification, you know that it's a really good opportunity that you need to, because when you get these notifications, you need to act right there. You need to drop everything and hit it up. Because that ARB's probably not going to be there for another 5-10 minutes. So you have to act quickly and swiftly. That's why set a high bar for your parameters. But this is the arbitrage tool. And again, no risky bets here, Billy. Let's kind of get this bad boy back on track. So let's go to penny, and let's go for today, and no alternate markets. And let's go 2% to 10%. And there we go. Now we have some different plays. So Bovada and BetMGM, 4% return here on Shota, right? He's either going to pitch 5 2/3 innings or more, or 5 1/3 inning or less. And so no matter what happens, you're going to make money here. Again, plus odds number is bigger than the minus odds number. We can day trade these books to make a profit. You can set your $100 up here so that the most money that you're going to put down on a play is $100, and then you're going to put 60 over here. You can also, though, just come over here. When you click into the play, it's going to automatically pin for you. Don't forget the dual button here. It's going to open up both sports books at the exact same time, pull the plays up for you. All you got to do then is type in the dollar amount, right? All the work's done for you over here at OddsJam. So if you want to change this up, though, you could just say, hey, you know what? I want to bet $100 over here on Bovada. You know, I got to bet 170 over on Sports Zeno. Or I want to bet, 150 on Bovada. I got to bet 260 on MGM. Your profit automatically changes for you right here, so you can see how much you're going to make. This would be a play that's definitely worthwhile. Showed him, right? Props Builder, BetMGM, almost a 3% edge here on Michael Massey. Definitely worth it. Trout, he's either hitting a home run or he's not hitting a home run. And if my man hits 4 home runs tonight, then that just means he cashes on the over. But this might be a play that we want to take a look at for Trout because it looks pretty good. Looks decent. But again, if you want to bet some home run props. So that's the arbitrage tool. Thanks, Richard. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that, guys. So again, tomorrow, guys, there will not be a stream. I fly out late tonight, almost at midnight Arizona time. I get into Pittsburgh tomorrow at like 10 in the morning Eastern time. So there won't be a stream tomorrow. There will be a stream on Saturday. It might be a little chaotic in my parents' house because I got my sister and my niece and nephew, and I got a bunch of people running around. But we will stream at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific on Saturday. There most likely will not be a stream on Sunday because I will be locked in watching the Steeler game. And then there will be a stream on Monday in Pennsylvania. Pros and cons. In Arizona, I have access to PrizePicks Underdog. I don't have access to those books in Pennsylvania. But in Pennsylvania, I have access to NoVig, ProfitX, where I don't have access to them in Arizona. So we will be hitting up more ProfitX and NoVig plays while I'm in Pennsylvania for sure on Saturday and Monday. And I'm back in Arizona on Tuesday. So fly back, get back like Monday evening. So it'll be a good time. So really looking forward to it. Got a lot of fun stuff planned. Saturday is going to be nuts. A lot of great college football matchups going on. Let's kind of take a look at some anytime touchdown scores right now. I think I might have to change. What do I got to change here? Do I got to change anything? I think I updated it. I did update it. Is there no Pinnacle odds right now? Like, what's the deal, Pinnacle? Is there nothing here? Let me double check Pinnacle really quick. Again, you don't have to have an account with Pinnacle to come over here and kind of take a look at what's what. Let's look at NFL. All right, so for the Seahawks, there's definitely touchdowns. Yeah, A.J. Barner touchdowns. So there's definitely props for the Cardinal game. What about like for the Steelers-Vikings? They got them yet? They got player props. They don't have touchdowns for the Vikings and the Steelers game. So if they don't have it for the Steelers-Vikings game, guys, I'm willing to bet that there aren't going to be player props for any of the other games. Titans-Texans, yeah, they don't have player props yet. So they just have player props for the Cardinal game for touchdowns. And we talked about yesterday, I think it was Marvin Harrison Jr. was a good play. Okay, that's fine. Let's take a look at just some player props in general for today for the NFL. Let's go to markets. And what do we got? We got 10 plays. Okay, Torrey Horton, under 24.5 player receiving yards. We're DVigging to Pinnacle. This is over on NoVig. Pinnacle's at minus 118. Even Bookmakers at minus 108, so that's 14 cents off. I don't mind this play on Horton. This isn't a ton of money here, guys. We're not talking about $5,000 on Torrey Horton that's being available on NoVig. If I was in Pennsylvania right now, I would bet this. Dude's got juice. He's a very exciting rookie for the Seahawks, but I'm fine with that. A.J. Barner, under on his player receptions. So this is interesting. This is a sharp book and bookmaker. Pinnacle's Not believing in this. What do we see? Where's the movement at? Pinnacle moved, but they moved like 8 hours ago. Again, guys, if you have the gold plan or the platinum plan, you have access to this historical line movement for positive EV betting. This is massive. This is a huge game changer for player prop betting. Again, use code Billy35. You're going to save 35% off your first month, and you're going to receive a 1-week free trial to OddsJam. Let them know when you talk to the fine folks over there that you want a 1-week trial to platinum because you can use it for this weekend, which would be awesome. Bookmaker they've moved a little bit. They jumped up about 7 hours ago, and they're slowly retreating. Honestly, I don't mind maybe going after a bookmaker here. Whenever bookmaker has higher odds than Fanatics, tells me that I want to bet this on bookmaker. I really do. So I'm going to log into bookmaker off here on the side. Again, guys, any sharp sports book can catch action from me. You know, you listen to a stream or a video from me 2 years ago, it sounded like I was scared of the big bad wolf, which was Pinnacle and Bookmaker and all these sharp books. And again, I've evolved my opinion a little bit in terms of what I believe. And these books can catch some action. So they're hanging AJ Barner value out there. They go and get some action from old Billy Boy. So it's actually a plus 143, which is even better. And I will take this for $150. The max wager is $500. Okay, that just went through, and nice to see. All right, so we get this at 143 odds for $150 on Bookmaker. Again, I can't share the offshore books, guys, on the streams. YouTube has given me a couple slaps on the wrist, and I do not want to get my first strike on YouTube. If you guys don't know, with YouTube, 3 strikes, and my channel is completely removed from YouTube, so that's why there's no more Bookmaker or BetOnline or Bovada plays being shown on the stream, because I have to be very careful about the global offshore books. Sam Darnold, I'm not going to dive into this play. There's $10 in liquidity. Go bet it. JSN, under 6.5 receptions. Okay. Anything that's really above plus 113 odds looks really good. But this is a no-vig play. I'd bet this on no-vig. I'd bet this on MGM. I'd bet this on Bet Rivers. So there's a couple books that I would place this JSN bet on. Let me jump into some movement here. Oh, yeah, all day long, baby. All day long. We zoom in real quick. You can see Pinnacle about, 4 or 5 hours ago, they dropped off a cliff. They've retreated their position a little bit, meaning that they were at plus 112. So a $100 wager on Pinnacle paid out 112. Now a $100 wager on Pinnacle pays out $100. So Pinnacle has adjusted their opinion on this play due to money and information. So I like the under 6.5 on BetMGM. I don't mind that BetMGM moved. I don't think this is a very sharp sports book. Go bet this on BetMGM and have some fun. Trey McBride, under 6.5 catches. Onyx, DraftKings. C, Senor, E, Senora. This looks muy bien. So we're over here, and yeah, Pinnacle was at like minus 115. Now they're at minus 136. So it's now more expensive over at Pinnacle to get action on this play. So what I'm going to do is log into Onyx. I think Onyx is a great book to use, guys, for pre-match betting before the games start. If you're talking about live betting, I don't think Onyx is all that great for live betting. But for pre-match betting, they're solid. Trey McBride on player total receptions. What's OddsJam telling me to bet on this one? The recommended bet size is 170. Okay. Well, I got $200. So let's see if we can do a 175. Bingo. We get it. $175 on Onyx. Trey McBride, under 6.5 receptions. You can get this on DraftKings, guys. But again, something that I like to do, if you're like worried about getting limited on DraftKings, then go make your bets on Onyx, right? So that you kind of preserve your DraftKings account a little bit longer. That's another like little subtle tip that you guys can do, which is just go place these bets on Onyx. Again, if you live in a state that isn't available, that doesn't have, that you don't have access to DraftKings, then I would highly recommend checking out Onyx. And if you tail that play that I just bet, and if you sign up, bet $10, you're going to receive $100 in bonus bets using the link right here, guys. So check out Onyx. They're a great book. Real Deal Camper, do you ever do cross-market EV betting? Yeah. I do it quite a bit. I mean, it's not much of a difference from positive EV betting. It's crossed market means that, this isn't quite crossed. Pinnacle's at plus 108. We would need Pinnacle to be at plus 114. That's how we get a crossed market. This is damn near a crossed market. So cross market betting is not very much. I know that Alex is big on those signals, and I would agree with him. This is very almost close to being a cross market. So it's really tomato in my opinion. I understand though that maybe if you follow cross market betting, then this isn't a play that you would wager because it's not crossed yet. But I would still bet this because I think it's a very profitable play. JSN, right? Not quite crossed. It's close, not quite there. Yeah, I mean, this play is, as long as the play is under minus 120 odds, it's EV. At minus 117, it's just over 1%. So I wouldn't wager as much as I just did. So I would put maybe a half of a unit on the play now compared to that. And sometimes, guys, I will mention this with Bookmaker and Onyx. I'm just being honest here. When I place some player props, every now and then I do move, like the market moves a little bit. I don't know if it's me or if it's just a bunch of us betting it all at once. But yeah, I would still bet that, no doubt about that. It's not as good as it was at minus 113, but it's still decent. Looks like DraftKings is popping up here. So this is kind of like another indicator that I use, guys, right? Like we talk about Bookmaker being sharp, and I believe they are, but there are spots where you can beat them. And in my opinion, when they're matching up with DraftKings odds and they're offering better odds than Hard Rock and Fanatics, I want to bet this over at Bookmaker because I know that Hard Rock and Fanatics are really easy books to beat. So I think I'm going to catch a good opportunity here on Bookmaker. JSN over on his receiving yards, right? If you bet his under on his player receptions, why can't JSN have 6 catches for 100 yards? That can happen, right? So don't talk yourself out of a certain play with JSN because, well, I got his under on his receiving. Like JSN could catch a 45-yard bomb and then have 4 or 5 more catches for 45, 50 yards and easily hit this number, right? So don't worry about this. This isn't exactly negatively correlated, under on receptions, but over on receiving yards, depending on player archetypes. If we're talking about like Adam Thielen, I don't know if I want to bet on Adam Thielen's under on receptions, but over on his receiving yards, right? No offense to Adam Thielen. He's younger than me, but he's an old man. But JSN, who's in the prime of his career, can easily have 4 catches for 99 yards and a touchdown. That can easily happen. Christian, they still do. They might not have it for every single market, Christian. So if we look at like the Tigers and the Guardians, that's a good question. Oh, they just moved it. Never mind. I apologize. They might. I'm sure they'll get him back. I mean, they had him yesterday, so I'm sure it will come back. I don't think it didn't disappear forever, but it's something that definitely they'll definitely get back. Just at the moment, it's not there. And it just might be something on the back end that they're working on. But I don't have an answer, but I would highly anticipate that they will have maybe not today, but they will have the limits back from Pinnacle for sure. So here we go. So here's another indicator. I mean, it's on Bet Rivers. It's on Desert Diamond. Okay. Don't have to do too deep of a dive when it comes to Hard Rock, guys. Hard Rock's a really easy book to beat, just like Fanatics. So honestly, this isn't a bad play over at Fliff. Not quite as good as it is over at Hard Rock, but I would still bet this over at Fliff. But I would wager a little bit less on Fliff because you're getting it at minus 110. Again, this is, speaking of cross market, this is a cross market. Plus odds on the under, minus odds on the over. The plus odds number is bigger than the minus odds. Now, if you're looking as a cross market in terms of Pinnacle has to be crossed with the rec book, then okay. Yeah, Dan, 100%. 100%. Turkey, I'm not really sure. I haven't caught one of Alex's streams in a while. So the sharp money option, I'm not sure. Not sure what that is. I got to tune into one of his streams or watch one of his old ones. Yeah, I agree with that, Dan. And listen, when I was at Bet Bash in this past August, granted, I was around a lot of professional sports bettors. All those professional sports bettors bet into Pinnacle and Circa all day long. All day long. They don't, obviously they can't get that much money down on a Bet Rivers or a Fanatics. So they bet into Pinnacle all day long. They're not scared of Pinnacle. So, I want to try to, I guess the rest of 2025 is my mission to, not prop up Pinnacle as like this god of sports books that can't be beat. Pinnacle can be beat, no doubt. You can beat them. You just have to find your spots where you can get them. I got you, Turkey. Yeah, I'll have to take a look. Let me pull up the Discord off to the side here. Let me see. Yeah, so I would say that what Alex is showcasing right now, is not available yet for us OddsJam users. So, yeah, I could see whatever Alex is posting over there. It might be he might be in a developer mode, so he might have access to some stuff that isn't yet public. He's just trying to give you a little morsel. So there's nothing wrong with your OddsJam platform. It's probably something that he's testing out right now. And it could be something coming up in the future that we might be having access to. That's what I would say. Tips on how to beat. Here's an easy tip on how to beat Pinnacle. Bet into markets where Pinnacle does not have a lot of liquidity. So if Pinnacle's taking $50,000 on a money line play tonight for the Cardinals Seahawks game, I would use Pinnacle as a sharp. If Pinnacle was taking $250 on the first quarter total points of a college football game, I would go after Pinnacle, right? That's the easy way. Yeah, there we go, real deal. Yeah, so what Alex is showcasing, guys, is in develop mode. So it's not available to the public. I'm not in developer mode. I'm using the same platform that everyone else is using. So this is something that Alex is testing out with the software that might be coming to us in the future. So that's how I would do it. You guys have to understand, if I sat here and told you, hey, man, I think Torrey Horton under 24 and a half receiving yards, I'll bet you that. I like it tonight. And you're like, all right, well, how much you want to bet, Billy? And I'll say $5. And you go, chicken, $5, who cares? But if I told you I'd take $5 million on this play, you'd look at me and be like, okay, dude, like, what do you know about Torrey Horton? Like, what don't I know, right? Like, why do I have so much confidence? So it's all based off what the sports books are taking liquidity-wise. If they're taking $200, Pinnacle's not very confident, because if they were confident, they would take a higher limit. So it's all based off the limits of the sharp books. That's one way that I would definitely talk about how you can beat Pinnacle, is just looking at the liquidity limits. Cooper Kupp, under 3.5 receptions. Okay. Guys are asking some very good questions, no doubt about that. So the only thing I don't like about this, even though I'm not scared of MGM, I definitely don't like, though, that within the last, 5 minutes, they just moved a lot. They moved a ton. Pinnacle hasn't moved. By the way, guys, if you don't know this, you might not be able to see this, but all of the dots that are showing up here are different times where Pinnacle posted their odds. Okay, so Pinnacle just hasn't really moved at all to it. So when you see these different lines and dots, like on Circa here, these little dots right here, that's every time that Circa's kind of posting their odds. So MGM just shot up like a cannon, so I would just stay away from it, probably most likely. Chalkboard, Jackie. Unfortunately, I don't have access to Chalkboard, and OddsJam doesn't post their odds over there. So you definitely need to check out Alex's streams for Chalkboard value. No doubt about that. If we were going to look, guys, at some main market plays outside of tonight, if we were going to look for some college football and NFL plays for Friday through Monday. First off, let's look at some college football plays, DVigging to Bookmaker. Bookmaker takes higher wager limits on college football, so I would rather bet over there than to Pinnacle. And again, using a similar approach, plus minus 150, I'm cool with. And so, all right, let's see what we got going on here. Oh, yeah, Sharp's a new book. We did bet Georgia earlier at -3. I think I got him at plus 100, so it's slightly worse price. Under 55.5, James Madison, Georgia Southern. We know that Bookmaker takes way more liquidity than Pinnacle on basically all these plays. So the fact that Pinnacle's at plus 103, we can kind of take a look at some movement here and see what's up. Okay. Bookmakers kind of chilling. Pinnacle's moved down a little bit. I don't mind this. I don't mind going after this. This is a low hold to Bookmaker, meaning that you could wager $110 on the over at Bookmaker, wager $100 on the under at ESPN, and you would not win or lose any money. And so the hold percentage is how sportsbooks make money. And so the lower the hold percentage that we can find, that means, and in this case, this is a 0% low hold. That's a very advantageous bet that you want to make. So I'd be more than happy to place this under on JMU and Georgia Southern. Utah, West Virginia. This would be any Canby Sportsbook or Bally Bet. This is almost a low hold to Bookmaker, not quite. Again, it's only 7 cents off to Pinnacle, but it's 17 cents off to Bookmaker. Now, what I'm really hoping to see is some movement from Bookmaker. Not a lot, to be honest. But we've seen a lot of movement from Pinnacle. Pinnacle moved from plus 111 to plus 101. So they're moving in towards Bookmaker's favor direction. So I'm totally fine betting this under 46.5 on West Virginia. If we're looking at Houston minus 13.5, this is a key number. We can look at the Connecticut game here in a second. But minus 13.5 is a key number. Houston wins by 14 points. I like that. And guess what? Circa, Bet Online, they're all agreeing. And there's only $925 here, guys. So when I'm taking a look at this game between Houston and Oregon State, on Houston minus 13.5, Bookmaker's taken $21,000 on this play. So the fact that there's only $900 on No Vig does not scare me that there's a professional sports bettor over at No Vig trying to drop a line for us and like hoping that we're going to fall for the hook. Like Pinnacle, Bookmaker's taking 21 grand. So bet this minus 13.5 all day long over at No Vig. God, I wish I was in Pennsylvania right now. Hawaii and Air Force. I mean, Bookmaker is shaded a little bit more favoring the over. But when I look at this play, again, guys, even if you don't plan on ever using Bookmaker, I would highly recommend just signing up for an account. That way you can look at their limits. So even though the limits aren't posted here on OddsJam, I'm just on my other monitor searching these games and just taking a look. And I'm saying, okay, Pinnacle's taking $3,300 on this over. So this is a little bit of a different story. I have much more confidence in this minus 13.5 because Bookmaker's taking 21 grand. Bookmaker's taking $3,300, which is still fine. I would still bet this, but I would wager more money on this Houston play than on this Hawaii Air Force play because there's a massive discrepancy between the amount of money Bookmaker's taking on this play compared to this play. These are all little sharp things that you can start to glean into when you're betting on college football. Yeah, Sam, we already kind of went over about 10 different player props on the Seahawks-Cardinals game, man. So you're just about a couple, maybe 5-10 minutes too late to the party. JSN under 6.5 receptions. Bet that over at BetMGM or BetRivers at plus 120 odds. We bet Trey McBride under 6.5 receptions on DraftKings and Onyx at minus 113 odds. I think it's now at minus 117. Kyler, I think over 21.5 passing completions is good over at Hard Rock. So those were a couple plays I can remember off the top of my head. JSN over on his receiving yards, I think it was like 83.5. Can't remember if that was like no vig. That was pretty decent. What else do we got here? Mississippi State. Okay, Missouri State. Again, guys, when you're looking at these games, remember, not all of these college football conferences are the same in terms of talent, in terms of general interest from the public. So here's what I mean. No offense if you went to one of these schools. There is more interest in money wagered on Tennessee, Mississippi State, or Kentucky, South Carolina, compared to Western Kentucky and Missouri State. So something that often gets lost with sports bettors is that there's more money and more information put into the sportsbook's odds on SEC football than there is on the MAC or Conference USA, right? So to me, more money, more confidence, more of an edge when I see Mississippi State plus 7.5, the over on Kentucky, South Carolina. All of this means that I would rather bet this. I have more confidence in these plays. Now, Missouri State plus 3.5, that's a key number. But again, there's probably more interest in betting Kentucky, South Carolina than Missouri State. So that's just my opinion there. Is it dumb to do a $5 huge parlay, Sam? I mean, congrats on hitting the $600. I mean, what you have to understand if you want to put together a 9 or 10 leg parlay is that you're dealing with extreme amounts of variance. So it's a good question to ask. Over here at OddsJam, guys, we do have a parlay calculator. So let's just say you fire off for $5, right? Let's say you fire off a bunch of like minus 150 bets, okay? So let's say we put together a 6-leg parlay and all the odds are at minus 150. So this is our fair odds right here, plus 2043, okay? So what most people don't understand, and I'm not dissing long shot parlays. I love playing them, but again, most people don't understand that plus 2043 odds gives you a 4.5% chance of winning. So if you can deal with losing, so here's what I mean by that. If you have a 4.5% chance of winning and you can hit these parlays at a 6% clip, you're going to be very profitable. But that means that you're going to lose 94% of the slips that you put together that are 6-leg parlays with each leg at minus 150. So if you can win 6% of these slips that you make, so let's say you make 10 slips a day that are all 6-leg parlays at minus 150 odds a leg, all you have to do is win 6% and you're going to be profitable. Are you going to be able to mentally deal with the fact that you're going to lose 94% of your slips? If your answer is no, then don't play them. Or if you're the guy that puts together 2 6-leg parlay slips a weekend, you might lose. It might take you a couple years to recoup those losses because you might not hit on one of those. So people don't understand, and I'm not singling you out, Sam. You asked a very good question. Most people don't understand when they bet on parlays, then when they put together that, hey, man, listen, I'm betting minus 150 odds, but I'm going to bet a 9-leg parlay, and I got odds of plus 98.22. Well, guess what? That's the fair odds. That means you got a 1% chance. So in this example, if you won 5% of those slips, trust me, you're going to be massively profitable, but you're going to lose 95% of those slips. You're probably not going to be able to deal with it, right? So something that this isn't a flex. Right, over here on Parlay Play, this is another way to describe this, right? I've been having a fun time over at Parlay Play. Here's my history. Last 20 slips, I've won 4 of them. I've made $855. I've lost 16 of my 20 entries. That's what, 75%? And I'm massively profitable. Can you deal with losing 16 to 20 slips? And I'm putting together 4-leg parlays, dude. I'm not even putting together 5-leg parlays, right? I'm putting together 4-leg parlays. So this is what people don't understand with parlay betting is they lose 3 parlays in a row and they just like, dude, this is rigged. There's a script out there. No, it's not. You just don't understand the math. So once you can understand the math, this is then realistically. And let's say you went on an insane heater and won 10% of these 9-leg parlays. You still lost 90%. So that's the math behind sports betting that most people don't understand. But it's a very good question that you asked. Very good. Let's take a look at some NFL plays. If you guys found any of this information insightful, subscribe to the channel. We hit 7,500 subs. We're giving away $75 to 7 people on that stream. I'm hoping it's this weekend. And then if it is this weekend, guys, and we hit the number, then Tuesday's stream will be the giveaway. If you have Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, you're eligible to win one time. I'm giving away $75 just as a thank you to you for your support. So it's a fun time. So if you want to have a chance to win some money, then just subscribe to the channel and tune into the stream that day, and you'll have a chance. DVIG settings, let's look at Pinnacle. Pinnacle takes a little bit more money on NFL than Bookmaker. Sometimes they take the same amounts, but a little different. Ooh, Kalshi? Oh, Kalshi. Okay. So I haven't placed a bet on Kalshi in a minute. So I know that Pinnacle's taking some large amounts of money here, under 46.5, Jets, Dolphins. I kind of really like this. Ooh, I really like this. So if you guys don't know, I have placed a bet on Kalshi. I don't think I can get in trouble placing the bets on Kalshi. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate that, man. So let me log into Kalshi here, guys, because I think I got like $400 in this account. Again, guys, more sports books that you have, the more money that you can make. Now, Kalshi's a little different because they're going to show you some different pricing or odds, and it's going to try to confuse you. Dan. Oh, Dan, you didn't even have to do it. Didn't even have to do it. I mean, Kalshi might, it's a good question, Master Cool. Kalshi might be sharp, but I know that Pinnacle's taking more money on this play. And let me double check Bookmaker, because it would be nice to see. Let's look at some NFL games. How much right now at the moment is Bookmaker taking on this? First off, Bookmaker's at 44.5 on the under. So this is an alternate line, which I'm fine with. Bookmaker for the under 46.5 is at minus 145. Bookmaker's taking $7,200 currently at the under 46.5. So this is $5K. So I'm still okay with betting into this. And I'm betting like $120 here. So Kalshi, let's take a look at this. Got to come over here to sports. You can do sports, or we could just come up here and type in probably New York Jets. Here we go, against Miami. And let's take a look. So what they're going to do is they're going to do this like cents. Remember, guys, this is just win percentage. All odds are associated with a win probability, so we're looking at the win percentage. I'm going to come down here and look at, what was it, the under 46.5. So 46.5. And basically what they're asking is, yes is over, no is under. Okay. So we're looking to bet no. Okay. So this is 55 and 47. So remember, guys, if I open up an odds converter calculator, okay, and I have a 55% chance, they're saying that that's minus 122, which would be incredible if that's the actual price. But I want to buy some. So I want to buy some, and I don't know how much liquidity. Where's the? This is only my second time I've ever bet on Kalshi, but I know a lot of sharps like to bet over here as well. So we're just going to go in for a 125 spot. 125 pays me out 220. Again, if you guys don't know what that means, you can open up an odds converter calculator, right? Odds, payout, calc, one of my favorite things. I come over to Action Network. I'll just use this. And so if I'm putting down $125, getting paid out $220, then I can just come over here and probably type in what? So I'm getting $220. So is it what, $132? Yeah, I'm basically getting paid out minus 132 odds, right? Because it's a payout of $219.70. So Action Network, guys, they have a nice odds payout calculator. This is how you can break down the confusion and understand. So what OddsJam is telling us was correct, that this is minus 132 odds. So I'm going to go bet this under and submit it. And so we got the under. No, I don't want the over. No. Oh, don't do what I did. No, that's no good. I don't want the over. I want the under. No. I already messed it up. How did you mess this up? God, you're so dumb. No, I don't want that. Get rid of this. Oh, my God. This is why you guys are here for this. No, I don't want the over. What? Anyways, don't do what I did because I just bet the over. God. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, Mookie. Thank you, man. Appreciate that, Dan. Very kind of you. Oh, I traded not over? Thanks, John. Thanks, John. Listen, when I tell you it's my second trade on Kalshi, it's my second trade. So, like, again, I'm pretty dumb. Feel free to roast me in the chat. Oh, I don't know. We'll find out. Let me see. Your activity. So, yeah, it's not really. I'm trying to find this play out and just dive into this once more. All right, we'll find out, see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But I'll put this in here right now as 125. Yeah, I think you can. I can. We'll see. Thanks, Master Cool. Appreciate that, man. Again, I'm pretty dumb. Pretty dumb. You can get this though at a better price over on DraftKings. So maybe I'd rather do that instead. Bet this over on DraftKings. Under on the Ravens and the Chiefs. We bet the under 49.5 yesterday at minus 120 odds. Looks pretty good. It looks to be a decent price. Giants plus 7.5. I know that they stink. I don't expect Jackson Dart to have a huge game. We do need him to get over 229.5 passing and rushing yards. But plus 7.5 is a very key number here, guys. Right now, if the Giants lose by 35, then this doesn't matter. But if they lose by 7, then you're going to be very happy that you got the plus 7.5. And it is the NFL. Remember, there are plenty of teams that were garbage that surprise us from time to time. So keep an open mind when you're betting on crappy teams because you might be surprised sometimes. But you could bet this over at DraftKings for a slightly better price. I don't know, Christopher. We might be okay. We might be okay. It's definitely a learning experience. I think we're going to be okay. We'll see. What else do we got here? 46. So Texans minus 7.5 on no vig. This is almost a low hold here. And if I'm looking over here on the spread, Texans minus 7.5. 7.5, it's an important number. It's a very important number. And if I look at Bookmaker, what they're taking on this, Bookmaker's taking $25,000 on the Texans minus 7.5. So do not be afraid of the fact that it is, what, $2,400? Don't worry about that. Damn, stream's moving by pretty quickly. My Steelers. I would love to take the Steelers plus 3.5. Knowing my Steelers and knowing how closely and tight they normally play games, guys, if you haven't watched the Jets game, watch the Patriots game, and that Seahawks game was going to be the same thing, except shout out to Caleb Johnson. So I would definitely want to be on the Steelers at plus 3.5 because normally the Steelers are playing within a field goal. And to have that plus number is pretty big. So if the Vikings win, you're happy that you got the Steelers plus 3.5. Vikings win by 3. So, yeah, I like that. Let's take a look at some DFS and come over there. I'm fairly confident that I got the right side of the Kalshi play because I did click no. So I'm fairly confident that we're going to be okay. For sure. What's going on here, dude? Can we get this going? So again, guys, no stream tomorrow. Stream Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. 3-pick slip on Underdog. Again, we saw this play before. Chubb, Claire. Now it's Jared Goff. So if you can add in Jared Goff. If you didn't tail this play earlier, I made a slightly different play on the slip, but I did have Chubb on here. So you guys can check that out. Let's see. Okay. Again, a lot of PrizePicks value out there, and there's a lot of PrizePicks. They got the Jalen Hurts free square. Make sure you add that to a slip. Make sure you don't forget that. They got a Kyler slip play going on right now. So what I would do here is I would maybe bet this over here on PrizePicks. I would double check to see, do we have anything else that's easier to hit? Oh, yeah, this 3-pick entry all day long. I'd rather bet the 3-pick entry here with McConkey. And then instead of taking Kyler and Darnold on the over, that's fine. I would remove the Kyler play. I would make sure that I add him here. And then, what was the other one? Ladd already moved. That stinks. Okay. Let's open up the Fantasy Optimizer here. What do we got? Amari and Hampton, over on his rushing attempts. Yeah, I don't mind that one. I don't mind Omari and Hampton. Let's do that one instead. All right, so this is going to be how we're playing the Kyler free square, guys. We got AJ over on his catches, Kyler a little discount, Amari and Hampton. I can only play this for what, $5? What's the most profitable type of slip of non-fixed payout? DFS? Well, I mean, they all have fixed payouts, all these DFS platforms, right? So, whether it's PrizePicks, Underdog, Better, Fliff, I wouldn't really consider the DFS. but all of these Dabble, Epic, DraftKings Pick 6, they all require some type of parlay. So, I mean, the most profitable type of slip is going to be, like on PrizePicks, it's going to be 5 and 6 pick entries that are flexed. But again, you're going to deal with a lot of variance because you're dealing with 5 and 6 leg parlays. 6 leg entries on Underdog are the most optimal with insurance. It just depends on the platform. It's going to be different depending on the platform because all these platforms provide different payouts. Chalkboard, that's the one platform I couldn't tell you because A, I don't have access to it. OddsJam doesn't provide access to this. Neither does DGF. And I've never made a slip in my life over there. So if anyone can help out with that answer, or I would just check out Alex's streams because they might be able to tell you. But I don't know for Chalkboard. That's one book that I have no clue on. And I'm not going to try to take a guess because I'd just be wildly off. All right, guys. I have to shut this baby down because I got to pack. I haven't packed yet for my flight tonight, so I got to go pack. But no stream tomorrow. Stream Saturday. Stream Monday. I will be in Pennsylvania, so we'll have a good time there. It'll be a different backdrop, but we'll have some fun. Enjoy the Thursday night football game. Enjoy your Friday. And if nothing else, guys, I'll talk to you on Saturday. Questions, email me, DM me.